going to be ranking all MCU movies and shows. Finally, no Sony projects, but apparently Hulk doesn't exist anymore inside the MCU. Anyway, let's get right into it. Starting with Captain America the First Avenger. Oh yeah, once again, actually, I have basically finished watching all MCU shows and stuff. Oh my gosh, there isn't What If either. Ooh. Anyway, I have finished watching all the shows and TV movies and shows. And now, I decided it's a perfect time to, I guess, re-rank them all in a way. And, I think it'd be pretty fun. Anyway, so first is Captain America the First Avenger. I think all Captain America film, the Captain America trilogy is definitely the best. If one of them comes on the TV, I'm definitely going to watch it. So, good for Captain America the First Avenger. It's definitely a good film. You know, I have to put it in great. It's actually good. Good. Good is the perfect word to describe it. Because it doesn't go above and beyond. But it doesn't shiver down in a corner like Thor the Dark World does. Next is Captain Marvel. I think it's like a meh movie. Because it isn't the worst. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't say it's like one of the better ones. Next is Iron Man. It's like one of the best. Because, like, it's hard to explain, but what I'm going to describe it as is original. Original is like a word that can either mean bad or good. And I'm meaning it in a good way. And original can mean if it's good. Like, if a original film is good, then that means it is really good, probably. I'm probably messing up every word I'm saying, but, you know. Next is Iron Man 2. Underneath Captain Marvel is like a decent film. It's not going to be in Don't Like It. Because it's not like I don't like any of them. It's just like that they aren't the best. But Iron Man 2, I feel like is like a good film. But then I can't put it in good. It's below Captain Marvel. Next is Thor. It's going to be underneath Captain Marvel, but above Iron Man 2. Thor trilogy is definitely the worst of the trilogies. But Thor Ragnarok does carry the whole trilogy. Anyway, next is the Avengers. Avengers is one of the best films in the MCU. Because it started the whole MCU. And the fact that it took the biggest risk ever in trying to bring together a group of very different people, I feel like it's achieved something. Next is Iron Man 3. I think it's a good film. I'm probably going to put it bottom good. Because, like, it is good. It's not one of the better ones, I'd say. Thor the Dark World, it would, Hulk would also be in this tier with it. But since Hulk is apparently non-existent on this list, it's going in there alone for now. I say for now because maybe one more might be in that tier. Anyway, yeah, I just didn't really like it all too much, but it's a good addition to the MCU. Next is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. A lot of people say it's the best film. I say maybe it's in the best category, but it's not my personal favorite. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 I'm probably going to put in the best category because it's amazing music and it blew my expectations away. I thought when I first saw it, I know I've never said this before, but when I first saw it before the movie started, I obviously didn't see it in cinema, but when the movie first started, I was like a little bit skeptical. I don't know what the word is, because I was like, no way, a movie with a talking raccoon, talking tree, a green alien girl, a weird and a boy pretending to be a space pirate is going to be a good movie. Blew my expectations right out the window. So anyway, next is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think it's okay. Above Iron Man 3, because I feel like it's a decent enough film. But it's not going in great category, because that's only for great films. Age of Ultron, I'm going to put it in good. Underneath Captain America the First Avenger. You know, this is probably one of my... this is the hardest decision for me because it can be really confusing at points, and there's points where I don't like it at all. But then there's points where it's one of my favorites in the MCU. I'm gonna put it bottom of the best category because of how much it means to me. And since it was the first MCU film I ever saw. Next is Ant-Man. I think it's a good film. But it's above Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But it's not above Captain America the First Avenger. And the reason I put it good category is because it is a good film. And it's really funny and light-hearted. But at the same time, at points, it can be really, really sad and stuff. And the story is really, really fun. Next is Captain America Civil War. After rewatching it, I'd say it is underneath Captain America the Winter Soldier. Because Captain America the Winter Soldier, I feel is an amazing spy film. I never thought, before seeing this, I never thought a spy type film would be good in the MCU. But when I saw this, I was like, I regret everything I said beforehand. Next is Spider-Man Homecoming. I think it's a great film. First great category on this list. But that's just because of how good the villain is and how good it is at exploring, basically, I'd say, the origin story of MCU Spider-Man. And Vulture is a good star or villain to Spider-Man, who's going to end up facing basically the first ever live-action Sinister Six. Next is Black Panther. Great, because in the cinema, for the first maybe I guess maybe half of the film, I'd say maybe, I actually really hated it. Or I didn't hate it, it just wasn't my favorite of films. But when I got later on in film, it started to become one of my favorite MCU films on the planet. And back then, stuff like Infinity War and Endgame and So Infinity War, Endgame, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, and any of the TV shows, like, weren't created. So none of them would go above it because they weren't created then. So back then it was one of my favorites. Next is Doctor Strange. After rewatching it, I think it's a great film. But it's underneath Black Panther only for the fact that it's not actually above Black Panther because of the fact that I really like the magic and stuff of it. And it's a really fun starter to Doctor Strange in the MCU. And next is Black Widow. At first in cinema, I was amazed by how good it is. But now it's good, I guess. I put it top of good just because it didn't really disappoint. But at the same time, it just wasn't the best. And knowing that the stakes aren't going to be that high at all, because we know that Natasha's not going to die because, she dies in Endgame. It just makes it a little bit sad. Next is Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok is underneath Homecoming because Homecoming basically gives a high schooler's perspective on the MCU. Whereas Thor Ragnarok, it's it. If you think about it, it didn't have. I wasn't it was the first one I saw in cinema, so it does have something behind it. It's hard to explain my feelings on it. All I know is that it's a great film, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. And next is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm starting to like a little bit more. Maybe not as much as the original, but I do still really like it. And I just saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in cinema today. And actually, one of the music bits is in this film. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. Right next is Avengers Infinity War. I think it's probably my personal favourite MC film if Spider-Man wasn't in the MCU. But since he is, obviously it's not my favourite. Avengers Endgame. I feel like now with Avengers being in a top tier, all 4 Avengers are in the top tier. Mate. Bruh. And then I just realised the only Avenger out of the main 4 Avengers, or the main 3 Avengers, that isn't in the top tier is Thor. And my next is Loki. Loki, I think it's quite fun. At first I was like, this is not going to be good. Setting a whole TV show on a dead character. But I did end up liking it. It's not my favourite shows, but I did really like it. WandaVision, while the episodes were coming out, it was top tier. But now that they're all out, I feel like bottom good because it's okay. Turtles. This is the one that's below Thor the Dark World. It's just why would you do a film all about getting a band back together and all for 10 brand new characters we have never met? I get how they all have their own little introduction scenes and all, but maybe do it in a TV show if you want to do it right. I know, but isn't that good, to be honest? Next is actually The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's probably my favorite of the TV shows. I do really like, and I really like it and appreciate it for what it is. And I think it helps a lot, the fact that I really like this type of, like, these type of superheroes where, like, they're more like guns and actual fist fighting instead of magic, shooting webs out their hands, laser blasts and all. So yeah, next is Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. I think it's an amazing film. It's above the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because like the villain is amazing because he's like misguided and all, and like I really like the story. But at the same time there can be bits that are like a bit confusing and a bit weird. Next is Far From Home. Though for me, past me would actually, it's hard. This is hard. Underneath Black Panther, but above Loki, because it isn't my favourite of the great tier, but it is great. It is a great film, and I loved it in cinema. Next is No Way Home. I thought No Way Home was a fantastic film. It's definitely top tier. Nah, JK once again is top tier. Next is Hawkeye. I think it's probably my third favourite show. Or fourth favourite show. Because my favourite is What If. Or no, my favourite is Moon Knight, then What If, then The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then Hawkeye, then Loki, then it's WandaVision. So yeah, I just realised the shows have got improved on as time has went on. That's kind of cool. Because the first is my least favourite. Then it's actually Loki. So, and then it's the second one. The second one is always one of the best in a trilogy or in a franchise or whatever. So of all the TV shows, it's one of the best. And like in Captain America franchise, Captain America the Winter Soldier is the best. Actually, there's not too many examples of that because Thor the Dark World, Iron Man 2, Guardians 2, all in the bottom few tiers. And Ant-Man 2. And then up here, and then my least favourite in the Spider-Man trilogy, Spider-Man 2. And my least favourite in Avengers trilogy, quadrilogy, Avengers 2. Same thing. Anyway, that's the end of the video there. Like, subscribe. Hopefully you've had a good video time, I guess. Goodbye.